Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Abe with MysticGenmara.com, a small town mystic from the middle of Idaho. And tonight, whenever you happen to be seeing this, I would like to offer your elemental energy bonus reading for the elemental energy of water. Water covers the zodiac signs of Cancer, Scorpio, and Pisces. So all of our fishies out there, this one is for you. If you've never had your charts read or you're looking to maybe get a new version, there is a link in the description for Llewellyn's natal chart. It's not sponsored or anything like that, but it's a good little reference just to kind of get an idea of what's going on in your chart. It gives you your base 12 houses, and then there's 10 to 20 pages description of what all that means. And the fun part about them is they also put in there a elemental alignment section, so it shows what your elements are and basically what the breakdown is. So you know, are you water dominant with air, or are you water dominant with fire secondary? And then it also shows what your basically you don't have in there as well. So it's kind of interesting in that respect. I'm just shuffling our cards because we're going to get started here. I use for the bonus readings the basic Celtic cross with a few variations that I've tweaked to make it more reader friendly for me. So hopefully you guys enjoy this. And then when we're done, we'll look at the oracle and get a few either answers or a little more information. If you see something different with the cards, I read intuitively. So if you see something different, feel free to comment down below. It's always interesting to hear other people's perspectives. So with that, water, you are starting off as your significator. So this is the totality of who you are in this very moment, is the Queen of Pentacles. There's this energy of you've put effort into something, you've built it to a point where now it's getting ready to take off, it's ready to grow, there's a shift that's being called to the front. And with the Queen of Pentacles, you're also working with that divine feminine, meaning this is energy that now that you've got things moving, you're supporting it, you're guiding it, you're keeping it safe. You also have some friends down here in the bunny section that are being willing to help you as well. But this is really talking hearth and home. It could be finances as well, because these are all earth energies. If it's the home life, it could be there's a pregnancy on the way, so now it's time to nurture and grow. If it's business world, it could be a promotion, it could be a new business. Where you're at right now is showing, though, that you have done all this prep work, you've got everything going, and now there's this energy of you kind of need to herd it along, guide it, make sure everything is protected in the best possible way. So that's a great way to start your reading here, water. Your challenge is the 10 of Pentacles, which is interesting that you have Earth so far as dominant. With this one in the challenge form, it's saying there could be a feeling of overwhelm, like you have so many irons in the fire, or your things have kind of blown up beyond what you expected. But remember, you're the Queen of Pentacles, saying you can handle all of this. This is just those doubts and fears that are popping up. And so if you are having that feeling that you're just not sure if you can handle this, if you're not sure if this is where you're going to go, if this is feeling almost like it's feeling like there's too much going on, this is really your indicator to remind yourself you're the one who has to say in this. Take a pause if you need to, take a breath, take a day off, look at what's going on, and reprioritize might be part of the chaos going on, because the 10 of Pentacles in its upright form, not in a challenge, is really about abundance, prosperity, things, really enjoying the life that you've planned. When it's in its negative, like a cross sign or reverse, which I don't read reverses, it's saying that it's time to take a break because you feel like you're overwhelmed. There's too much going on. But remember, you're the queen, so you can handle this. Multitasking is just a thing. It's just how life works. So you're not worried about the chaos of the 10 of Pentacles, because this is you. You have the ability to maintain all of these. Notice they're all lined up. So it may be just a call to reprioritize, and that's not always the easiest thing when you're in the middle of the whirlwind. Your higher self, speaking of whirlwinds, is the Knight of Swords. This is really saying, get focused on the most important thing, center on that, and then rearrange around it. The Knight of Swords is a pretty aggressive knight, and as your higher self, it's saying, you know what, we've already been through this. We've been battered, we've been bruised, we've dealt with so many other things. This we can handle. You're calling upon the core of who you are, which is basically the heart of the ocean, so you can see this as a whirlpool. And you're calling this energy up, saying, enough is enough, I'm going to fix this. And your Knight of Swords, Knight of Air, is saying, let's do this. Let's bring in those Libra friends and get this thing balanced and get this going. And that's what you're looking for. And your higher self is just saying they want to be here to support you in this restructuring that may be going on, or this reprioritization that's being called for. In your shadow, and this is, where we put all those things that we don't want to deal with, our repressed memories, our emotions, the stuff that others have told us are not good enough, so we shove them into the shadow, and it tends to get pretty large. But when we work with the shadow in a healthy way, we open the door to what are we ready to process, and then the shadow will bring forward what we have matured to, experienced enough to process and clear out, because the shadow is just another part of who you are. And with your shadow, we have number 18, the moon. Water, do you feel like you're not enough? Do you feel like there's something going on here where you don't want to hold your authority? Water is intuition, it's the moon, it's the divine feminine. There's all of these different associations. There's also your Cancer here, so that's water energy. But when you really look at the concept of water, are you afraid of stepping out onto your own? The moon rules water in a lot of different ways. And is this something that's bothering you about being a water sign? Is there something about, well, I don't want to be seen as too emotional if I stand up for myself? There's standing up for yourself in a healthy way, and then there's being irrational. And this is where your shadow's saying, you can sort these. This is part of what is causing this chaos, is this need to not be seen as something that is different. And water, you're okay with being different. You've always been this way. This is not a new thing. And with Cancer as the crab here, that's the one where Cancer can be a little more emotional out of the three water signs. And they're saying you can have your emotions, just learn to control and moderate them. Because when a water energy steps into its authority, when the moon can guide the water into their authority, they can control those emotions of themselves, which also ripples out to influence those around them to maybe not be as emotionally upheaving. So really, water, this is you're saying, I want to regain control. That's your higher self is saying, let's sort this out, let's clean things up, let's get the priorities realigned, because you are the Queen of Pentacles. You can hold all of this and you can manage all of this without a lot of headache. But don't let your emotions lie to you as part of this. And that's what Shadow's trying to remind you of is you're water. Your emotions are literally under your control. You can have this authority when you choose to take it. And now it's being reminded to take that authority. Take your emotions and say, listen here, kid. Because it's not beneficial if they're running rampant, because then you're not going to be able to rein in that chaos that's going on around you. Your immediate past, last 1 month, 6 months, or a year, is the Knight of Pentacles. You've been really good about protecting that which you love and care for. You've been really strong in being the force that guides those around you. And this is really positive, that's what's led you to the Queen of Pentacles. This has shown that you have the ability to deal with situations. You have the ability to fight, to step up, to defend when necessary, but you're also reflecting that light of the divine, meaning you're able to really step into the leadership roles that you have been granted, that you have been given opportunities to play with. So in your previous 1 month, 6 months, or a year, you've really stepped into your own authority. Just remember, you're in control, not the emotions. And that's one of these things that's led you to the Queen, where you now have all these little eggs going, and you're nurturing and you're guiding and you're holding up because you can. You might need to reprioritize a few things, but that's really more on just getting more organized in your personal life. So that's where that's coming in at. Your immediate future, you have a lot of earth going on here. Is 8 of Pentacles. Don't hyperfixate on one thing. You have a lot of irons in the fire going forward in the next 1 month, 6 months, or a year. Try to maintain and prioritize again, but keep track of everything you've got going on. That's not an easy thing, because when we're talking about excessive amounts of projects, it can feel overwhelming. But what I'm seeing here for your future is you've got this, water. You have total ability to handle what's going on. Pick a project, finish the project, continue on to the next. If there's something that has to be maintained with other projects, maintain as you go, but don't hyperfixate and forget that you have other things going on. And that's what this going forward message is all about, is getting clear on what's the top priority, what's the next, do I have any that need to be maintained, like you have to check in on them once a week or whatever. Get those things moving in the right direction, get that reprioritization with your higher self. Again, this is intuitive coming in, not so much the exact definition. And when you get that clear, then you're going to be able to really step forward. But if your emotions get out of whack, that could be a problem. So keep check on those little toads. Your attitude, this is your inner world, this is kind of the thoughts that you're feeling at the moment, is the Ace of Swords. So you know that there's something new coming. Ace of Swords is Ace of Air. Air is wisdom, knowledge, intelligence, and there's other things, but that's the basics. And when you look at it from that perspective, you know, Water, that there's this shift occurring. Like, you have a logical perspective of the chaos, of what's happening, of the maintenance. You're just maybe not sure how to move forward. And the Ace of Swords is saying this is your option for a new beginning. And that's where you get to reprioritize, reset, so to speak, what's happening. And this is going on inside your inner world. This is not something I have to reach out and I have to figure it out. You might need the assistance of someone else outside of you, but this is where it's going on inside. So if you are curious as to why do I feel so overwhelmed, why do I have this particular, it's because you're trying to restructure and you logically know this, but again, get these under control. Because that's what's causing the frustration, is logically you know what steps you need to take, but your emotions are, but why? They're whining at you. Like, push that aside and get clear on what it is you're doing. That way your emotions can settle down and be quiet over there. Your outside world, this is the environment you're in, the stuff that's outside of your direct control, which is the Five of Pentacles, again with the Earth. This is saying that there are a lot of things that you are not seeing just yet. There's a lot of cards at play. There's a lot of things shifting and moving around you. You're leading a very interesting group of people. They're all, in their own fashion, leaders in their own worlds, because you have a fox, you have a deer, you have an eagle. So you're all kind of heading the same direction. This is you here. You're leading the pack. You may not see the destination because of all the fog, of all the chaos, of all the other things going on. So the world around you may feel or seem like it's really chaotic, and it might be. But as long as you can hold true to your values, your morals, your ethics, that core of conduct that you hold yourself to, if you can hold true to that, the others will still be able to put their trust in you, and you will eventually get out of this situation. But the environment you're in right now there's a lot of moving parts, and I'm seeing a lot of chaos going on. So there's not a lot of clarity as to what direction you're supposed to go. You just have to follow your intuition, which is what you do anyway, Water. That's such an easy thing for you to do. But don't forget, you want to keep the emotions in check, because they can flare up and cause all sorts of chaos. Your hopes and fears is the Two of Swords. You want to pull away. You want to close yourself off. You want to hide from the world. But guess what? You still have your energy coming in. Even though this is an air card, you have the moon up here. The moon is saying, if you need to pull away for a time, do so, but do not cut people off. This is not the time for that energy. You have a lot of support, is what I'm hearing. So your hope is that you're going to be able to pull through this. And I'll tell you a secret. You've pulled through everything else. You're going to pull through this too. And this is that time of maybe just taking a pause. Just like with the Queen, sometimes you have to step away for a minute. Take a break. Get more clear on what it is you want to do, what direction you want to go. And sometimes it's just a matter of you need that quiet time so you can actually restructure and reprioritize. Because if you're in the middle of the situation, you're not going to be able to see clearly what's going on. And so the Two of Swords is saying, it's okay. The hope is to take the rest, recover from everything, and then move forward, holding true to what your message is. The fear is that you're going to pull away and everyone's going to abandon you. They're not. They're going to be there waiting for you. You just need to take the time to rest and recover, because you've done all this prep work. in your immediate past. Like, this is not an easy task, and you've done all of that, which has led you to where you are now, which is great because you're able to, so you have your nest, you've got all your support system in place, but you have a doubt about things. You feel like you're overwhelmed. There's a lot of chaos that you feel is there. That's where that fear is. So when you start to get these in check, get your emotions in check, your shadows, bringing that forward, it allows you to get more clear, and then you can reprioritize and move forward really successfully, really. Your overall outcome for the tarot part is the Three of Wands. This is a form of success, but it's because you stepped beyond where you were. You're observing things, you're sending out your little messengers or however, because you don't need to be in the fray anymore. Again, you're reprioritizing, you're stepping away, but not in the form of, I'm abandoning. It's more of, I'm putting the people in place, I'm doing the things that I need to do, I'm setting things up, so I don't have to be actively involved in this anymore. Your outcome is really saying when you reprioritize, you're able to delegate to other people or other energies. Like, instead of checking in on it all the time, you can say, God, source, let's work with this. Or you can set up a computer program and moderate it however you need. But the Three of Wands is saying you've achieved so much already here that you can step back from the keeping your finger on everything, trying to move it around. You only have 10 of those. So you might have 12 problems. This is where you get to delegate. You start to pick the people you can trust. You align things properly. And notice the wands are maintaining the battlements. The dragon's only maintaining one because he doesn't have to maintain all of them. And that's what your outcome is. When you get everything reprioritized, you can delegate things out and you can be like, that's yours, it's not mine. Check in with me if you have questions. Bye. So your overall reading here is, water, really super positive. You've done a lot of prep work. You've got a lot of things moving in the right direction. There's this energy of overwhelm, but that's where your emotions are. They're playing little games right now, trying to get you to give up something or give up on the projects or give up on whatever it is. Your higher self is saying, don't you dare. Reprioritize. Let's clean this up. Let's sort this out and get more focused on what it is that's number one. Number two, delegate out the rest if you can and let it settle down. Take the break if you need to, because that's what's important. There is this energy that's kind of underlying everything here, which is the Sire of Pentacles. This is also showing that you are being an example. This is, and I'm feeling very strongly, this is you, water. You're the one, again, with Pentacles, who is leading this charge. You're the one who is being the example. You're guiding this next generation. It could be you got promoted, so you're coaching the person who's taken your position. It could be that you have kids in the household. It could be just friends that are watching that you're shifting and growing. They want to be able to do that too. But you're the teacher. You're the one showing them the way. Is that an easy task? Heck no. That is never easy, especially when everyone's watching you. But this is what's coming forward. And it doesn't mean they're staring at you. It could be just they're observing you from a distance. But you're the one who is showing the path, showing that, yes, I've done all this prep work. Yes, I've done all these other things. I've laid the foundation. Look, I have all this nest full of plans coming forward. I have all these things that are built up. And your future is really looking clear because you can delegate out and let others, train them up so they can maintain that side of things. Train them up so that they can help you achieve even more. Because when you achieve, so do they. So this is a really positive outlook. So let's hop over to our oracle and see what other information we can find out here. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button, drop a like on the video, and like I said earlier, comment, let me know your thoughts, feelings, and impressions. And if you see something other than what I've said with the cards, like I said, I love to hear from you guys, so drop that in the comments as well. And if you're interested in any of the cards I'm using, I always link them in the description so you can check them out if it's one that you have to add to your collection, because that's how some of the ones I have acquired, is I'll see someone else using them and be like, ooh, I need that. So your first oracle card. Also, if you are asking specific questions, you can push pause right now, ask your question, and then see what message comes up with the cards. Anyway, moving forward. Archangel Gabriel is your first card, and Gabriel is actually the patron of water and the West, so this is one of your guides. The messenger of creativity and hope. Water, this is a time of reaching out for the comfort of Gabriel in her feminine aspect, because Gabriel can be masculine or feminine, but this is calling into the feminine. And with this energy, it's saying, Water, you've done all the things. You've prepped everything. It's okay to take a rest. And that rest is actually going to inspire you to move forward. This is your opportunity, Water, to really embrace the quietness of the winter, the refreshment of spring, because when spring is just around the corner, and when you get refreshed from the winter, it allows you to really break free and move and fly and carry on and expand your beliefs and realities, shifting things into the most positive aspects for yourself and all others. So when we reach out to Archangel Gabriel, this is your time to really rest in your corner, rest in your power, which water's power is the heart of the ocean. So think about that. And when you're resting in that place, you're getting refreshed. You're being infused with this new creative energy. And so your first oracle card is really just saying, you've got this, Water. Just do some self-care. You're going to be able to make it through all this. Your second card is memories. Cherish the memories of loved ones. And I don't know about all of you, but usually this time of the year is, for some oddball reason, people who have passed really start to come back into my memories. I've been thinking a lot about some previous chefs that I've worked for. I've been thinking about some previous coworkers and even families that have all passed on. But when you really start to remember your history, that's what this is talking about, you realize that you can expand because you've already done all this. Look at the foundation that your previous employers, your bosses, those ones that stick out to you, the fun ones, the ones that taught you so much. Or think back to your family, how far they've come. Or did they immigrate here back in the 1800s, coming across on a boat in Ellis Island and all that? Like all of these different ways to exist. When you start to remember how people have got to where we are today, it's inspirational. People like Nikola Tesla, people like Albert Einstein, these are people who came from almost nothing and expanded. People like Wilhelm Reich, who challenged a system. People like Reif, who challenged a system. We know who they are today because they made such an impression. So when we look back to our histories, we look back to our memories, everyone's had challenges, and we've all overcome them to a certain level. Some are like launch over the top, some just barely tip over the top, but they still overcome. And that's what the memories are here to do, is remind you that no matter how dark the night, there's always a spark of hope. There's always a light at the end of the tunnel. And as long as we can remember that, it makes the shadows deal a lot easier. So, your last card is the cheer up and live in the moment. Again, when we regain control of our emotions, when we take back control of our minds and our feelings and really start to rein things in. Am I feeling this because my emotions are out of whack? Am I feeling this because it's a justified experience? It allows us to free ourselves from that darkness. And just like with the two previous cards, Archangel Gabriel bringing forward rest, memories reminding us how far we've come, why would you want to be depressed or sad? You've overcome everything else. You have the power of the sea backing you, supporting you, leading you into the proper path. And Gabriel's here to help remind you of how unique, how special, and how loved you really are. So why not cheer up? It's not going to be easy. Sometimes you have to paint that smile on with a Sharpie to be like, no, see, I'm happy. But when you do that, eventually you'll start to get to that point where it's like, okay, it's not as bad as I thought. I've sorted this out. I'm in a better headspace. Is it easy? No, it never is. And if you're someone who's dealt with depression and anxiety, especially seasonal depression, it might take a minute, and that's okay. That's why Gabriel and memories are here to remind you to take the self-care and to do the things that remind you of how far you've come. Look at who has led to the foundation that you have now. So this is a really strong message, Water, through this whole reading, the tarot and the oracle, that you've got this. It may not be the easiest in the moment, but you're going to overcome it. You're going to succeed, and everything is going to end up working out the right way. A lot of what's going on here is the perspective shift that needs to happen. So when you can get to a point where you can see it in the more clear state, get those emotions under control, you'll realize that this is actually not as bad as it looks. So with that, I will let you guys and gals go. I will see you in the next video. Have a great month of January, and remember, water, even in the dark night, there's always a candle flame alight. See you later.